Thank you for staying with us. We've been looking at the Japa syndrome, talking about a lot of Nigerians live in the country in search of greener pastures. And we have been speaking with an immigration consultant, Abraham Great. Abraham, thank you for staying with us. Before we went on the break, you were talking to us about factors young people should consider before leaving the country.
Yes, I said the first thing, you have to understand the different categories of visa, and that for every person, there is a type of visa that can help you to migrate to one country or the other. Most people only know about visitors visa, but I say to you that the easiest kind of visa to get into most top countries around the world is student visa. The UK, for example, will grant maybe 95, more than 95% of student visas. This is because it's contributing to their economy. Nigerians will travel to the UK, to the US, to Canada, to Australia to study. We contribute to the GDP of those countries by bringing money in there too. And we also work. So I was also saying that you have to look at your health and look. It doesn't mean that you can't go to a country that is cold or what have you, but at least learn about it and see how to prepare yourself for that. The other thing is you have to sit down and count the cost. How much is it going to cost me? And be very, very careful about putting that cost together and don't pay unnecessary fees. During those days, we used to charge a lot of money as immigration consultants, with a lot of staff, but a lot of the information that you need is actually available on YouTube for free. So many people are giving this information on a daily basis. So no matter where you think you want to go, you can go on YouTube, you can learn how to prepare that application. If you're looking at the UK, if you're looking at Canada, if you're looking at the US, there are experts, people who have experienced the same thing you want to experience on YouTube who actually, show you step-by-step guide on how to do it. If out of all of that, you still cannot handle it yourself, then you can go to an immigration consultant. You can pay them and then make sure that they are competent enough. But I will say, and I will reiterate this, please, do not make anybody make you falsify your information, your date of birth, your names, tell you that you are who you really are not. As a Nigerian, I'll tell you this, it does not work. We have seen many destinies ruined, many lives, many marriages ruined because of this. And it's disheartening when you see your fellow countrymen going through some mess that they've created just because they want to japa or they want to travel. I can guarantee you this. If your goal is to travel and you want to do it the legitimate way, if you give it a shot, it will happen. Most countries need anybody. It doesn't matter what you do. Either you work in a TV station or you work and you're selling pepper somehow. If you really sit down and you give it a thorough research, you can actually migrate. The other thing is that you have to consider to integrate, because most of us, when we're traveling, we actually do not think. What we're thinking about is, I'm going into a country, I'm looking for Nigerians, but you actually have to think about going into a country and integrate with the people in that country. You have to really be conscious of it, that when I get into this country, I want to learn about the people, I want to learn about the culture, because that is how you can come back and bring culture, bring something back home that you can impact your own country.
That aspect of reintegration is a major challenge for a lot of persons who have left the country. And then there's also the aspect of some persons running into trouble from the reports that we saw recently where doctors were complaining of long hours and indiscriminate deductions from their salaries. I wonder what kind of advice you want to give such persons who perhaps have run into one trouble or the other.
Okay, first of all, doctors all over the world do long hours. There's shortage of doctors all over the world. Either it's in the UK, in France, in Germany, in Canada, in the US. That is why doctors can never be poor if you are really a doctor, not that you falsified the information to be given prescriptions and you made your way abroad. So most doctors who complain about long hours and so, you have to get used to it or don't get into the field. I have a lot of friends and relatives who are in the medical profession, and you have to know that there are pros and cons of every, but also you always, and please don't undermine this, no matter your profession, when you get into a country, one of the first things that you look for is a mentor. someone who has done what you want to do, or who has been in the career that you're going into, who can actually mentor you, show you the way or the road. So God has helped me. I've been so successful in the UK for the last 20 something years. But I recently moved to Canada to fulfill my wife's dream. But I still got here. I still have to get mentors. Yeah, I have everything that I need to thrive in this country because I've been coming here for a long time. But in almost every aspect of my businesses, I have different businesses. I have to get different mentors who, okay, I sit down with and who will coach me, who will speak to me on how to go. You can avoid a lot of pitfalls by having people, not just talk mates, intentional, intentionally finding a mentor. Sometimes you have to pay for them, other times they are free. If you're looking for a free platform, then join a platform like a church or a mosque. Join a set of people, let them know that you are now in the community. And that should not just be because you're in Nigeria, you're going to only a Nigerian church. A Nigerian church can help you, your people will rally around you. But sometimes you can go into a multicultural church also, and then you mix with different kind of people, you hear different kind of information, you integrate with different kind of people. And also, this may sound funny to you. One of the ways to actually integrate is that when you travel, stop trying to convert naira to pounds. I call it money mindset. Because if you do that, you will live the first few years of your life in depression. When you look at, I'll give you an example. When I left Africa into UK 22 years ago, but the first time I was to barb my hair was £6. When I calculated it, I went inside Argos, I bought a clip and started barbing myself. But after a while, life changed. I have a barber in UK. When I go to Canada, the first haircut I had cost me almost $60. So you have to understand some of these things integrated, and you have to also, find a way to acclimatize to this thing. Change your mindset. If it's $60, it's $60. It's either I barb myself, or if I can afford it, don't complain about it. Find the kind of food that people eat in the country. Don't be looking for Gary and what have you and you're in Saskatchewan, for example, or you're in Alberta, and you spend the last 2 months looking for where you can eat eba or what have you. In some way, get ready to integrate into the country that you're looking for, and that is going to help you. Drink their water, pick up their accent, their dictions, as many things that you can pick as quickly as possible. All of these things will give you access into the heart of people who employs, people who can help, people who can give you a hand. But if you just remain who you are, Baba Ijebu coming into Canada, you are going, Ijebu people, before you can curate them together, it's going to be long. But integrate with your neighbors, integrate with people that, you see around you.
All right. Abraham, a lot of persons say that as Nigerians travel and leave the country now, like you say, they will mingle with other people, learn new things, integrate, connect, network, and become professionals. And someone was saying that this could be blessing in disguise for Nigeria someday, when Nigeria will become a better place than it is right now. I wonder if you see this mass exodus or the feeling of emigrating from the country is a blessing in disguise for Nigeria when it comes to potential professionals someday.
Mr. Mike, I'll say this to you, that this has been happening from time immemorial. If you recall what happened in the 70s, yeah, even though I was born in that century, but some of our parents and grandparents had traveled years before. But when it came back in the 60s, the 70s into Nigeria, look at what happened with like of Nitel, Nipos, and all the industries that they created at that time. And also right now, look at the tech industry in Nigeria. Nigerians are consistently coming back home and contributing to the country. And I tell you, the future of Nigeria lies in its diaspora, because no problem can be solved at the same level that it was created. Nigerians' future lies, maybe not solely in its diaspora, but there is an emergence of something yet on top. You can't imagine what it will become when we legislate or we pass the bill to allow Nigerians to be able to vote, or to be the economy of Nigerians in the diaspora can be linked directly. This way, it is indirectly, can be linked directly to the development of Nigeria itself. Japa is a blessing, a massive blessing to any country. So Nigeria is a big blessing. Something is about to happen in Nigeria. No matter who wins the election, no matter what it is, Nigeria will only get better. But as a people, we are so, Mr. Mike, you know me well. My slogan is, it is working. An average Nigerians, we complain a lot. There is complaint in every country. Canada has the highest inflation record in history. UK is having it bad. We've changed prime minister in the last few years. I mean, everybody hates their president, their what have you at the moment. But Nigeria, we blame them, we castigate them, we destroy them, we do everything. Right. Everything we're complaining about, we've been complaining about them. But we have to be patriotic about our country and see that the future is bright and begin to speak positive concerning our country.
Definitely. We need to be patriotic. That's the message, basically, from this conversation. We must thank you, immigration consultant Abraham Great, for your time on the program.
Thank you.